If you want to hear about my thoughts on my recent trip to Busan, then this episode is for you. This is episode 23.
Look into my eyes and show me your adventures I haven't seen.
Hey guys, so today is Monday and it is really uneventful. It's just another day in school. Had my first 3-hour lesson today, Introduction to Information System, and it ended early, which is good, but it's really boring, I have to say. Really boring. I found myself watching football highlights at different points in class to keep awake. So that's how boring it was. But I believe it's just an introduction. You know, chapter 1 is usually never is key to the overall course. So I think I'm still in decent shape to pass this course. And at least I hope so, right? So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about Busan trip over the weekend. Okay, Friday to Sunday we went to Busan, and let's talk about the whole process. So let's start from the ticket purchase. So we went to Seoul Station in Seoul, obviously, to buy our tickets from the KTX counter. So we had to go to the Travel Information Center, and then we booked a ticket, a 2-day flexible pass, which allows us to choose any 2 days where we can exchange tickets. So that costed us 81,000 won, which was a better deal for us, okay, which was the best deal at that time. So how it works though, unfortunately our Korean debit cards didn't work, and apparently it's because we are not Korean citizens. I'm not sure why, but every time we tried to use our Korean card, it says we are unregistered or something like that. So we had to use our Singaporean debit card instead. So give and take, right? We had to have the ticket anyway, so we just went ahead with the purchase, and then we headed to Busan on Friday morning. So we had to be there on time, obviously. Not a train would have left without us. And when we got there, we stayed in an Airbnb at Haeundae. Very nice beach area, popular with tourists, obviously. And if you're going to Busan, you have to check Haeundae out, obviously. It is a nice place to relax, have a nice stroll along the beach, and at night it kind of comes alive because along the beach there are a lot of busking zones where buskers can perform, and along the main street there are a lot of pubs, there are a lot of stalls, a lot of restaurants where you can just have a good time at night. The nightlife is truly buzzing, right? There's a lot of noise, a lot of sound, a lot of activity. Foreigners and locals alike drinking, getting drunk, having a good night out. And we had a more simpler time. We went to play the baseball simulator game, and that was about, I think, 30,000 for 5 innings. So 4 of us played. It was a 2v2 game, 2v2 format, and it was so fun but so difficult. We had to play on the beginner level difficulty, which the store owner kind of told us was like for girls. Whatever, right? It's for beginners, and we were beginners. We are beginners, so we played beginners. And it's a really fun experience, so I recommend you guys go and play it if you're in Korea. Anywhere in Korea, just have some fun with the baseball simulator, because I don't think they have that elsewhere, you know, or at least it's not common outside Korea. For the sightseeing portion of Busan, obviously there are 2 main places we visited, and they are extremely amazing and picturesque places to go. First of which is probably my favorite also, is Taejongdae. We took the little tram after purchasing tickets, obviously, up the mountain, and then we could stop at a station closest to the lighthouse, and then we walked there. So climbing up the lighthouse was interesting, but the view wasn't that great because of the glass, right? It isn't the clearest view of the sea. Okay, so the best part about Taejongdae is going to the cliff, right? So you could walk out to the cliff and then sit down there and enjoy nature. The sea, the breeze, the view. It was great weather for us, fortunately, and the view was amazing. I never expected to ever see such a thing in my life, and I'm so thankful that I got to see such a sight. You know, I always see such pictures on the internet, you know, like cliff sites. Nature's miracle, one wonder of nature. Another good thing about the place is that it wasn't that crowded, you know. For quite a touristy place, it wasn't that crowded, because I guess the place is big enough to accommodate a lot of tourists and locals alike. And then we found ourselves having quite a good time relaxing on the cliff, and then I believe I got some pretty nice scenery footage on my Busan episode. So if you missed it, go and check it out and see for yourself what Taejongdae looks like. I highly recommend the place. So when you come to Busan, please go to Taejongdae. And on the next day, we went to Gamcheon Culture Village. So when we took the train to Toson Station, I believe, you could either take a bus up the hill to the village itself, or you could walk, which isn't that far, but some of the hills were pretty steep. We decided to walk, being fit young individuals trying to get our exercise in. So we walked up the hill, and then it was very nice. We were greeted by very colorful rows of terraces, and it's really nice place to visit. Very Instagrammable, and they call it the Santorini of Korea, but I don't think Santorini is the right place. It kind of reminds me more of the Cinque Terre or something in Italy. I don't know how to pronounce it, but you get what I mean. It's just terraces, beautiful, colorful terraces, and very nice scenery, really. What made the visit even better, although there wasn't much to do, honestly, what made it good was meeting new faces from Singapore and also an old friend in Andy. So they were there in Busan for their exchange program. So their university is in Busan, while ours is in Seoul. It was really nice catching up with Andy and meeting new people on the way, having a little break at a nice little cafe. It was just so much fun. And then on the third day, I guess, it's really nothing much, as you can see in the one of my videos, the last episode, Back to Seoul. Yeah, really nothing much in that video, which really highlights the lack of activity on that day. We just basically spent a lot of time traveling and resting up.
Let's go, Mick. It's supposed to mix it.
This is going to become funny.
What's the...
Stress. CEO coin.
No, I don't want it.
This place for oxbone soup, absolutely delicious. Favorite fashion brand. Okay, so now on to something I'm a little bit more passionate about. Food in Busan. Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about some items. So first, tteokbokki, I tried it twice, and overall, it pales in comparison to what I had in Seoul. Okay, the flavor just isn't quite right to me. Okay, the texture is a little bit softer, I don't know, mushier, I don't know how to describe it, but the taste isn't as tasty as the ones in Seoul, or at least it had a different taste, like too much soy sauce. I'm not sure. It could be a little bit spicy. The one I had for breakfast on my last day in Busan was really quite spicy, similar to Jaws in Seoul, but not quite the same tastiness and deliciousness that I enjoy as the one in Jaws. So that's tteokbokki. But the next thing, apparently Busan's quite famous, I'm not sure, but we ate one at this place with Premium Busan, which is fish cake, Premium Busan fish cake. And well, I don't know what to say, but the fish cake was really tasty. There's a green onion taste, and then some fish cakes variations had like red bean in it, some had cheese, which is like, wow, so good. But the thing is, you can only eat so much fish cake before you get sick of the taste and the feeling. It's something we call jelat. You know, you get tired of it, eating too much of the same kind of food. So that's what you can get with the fish cake. Also, although it was really tasty, you gotta pick the right ones for you. And my friend Yuxuan, he likes to eat it with rice, but for me, I think that's a little bit too much carbs in one meal, and well, which highlights the problem in Korean food in general, which I feel is a general lack of meat in the Korean cuisine. Ugh. Although the carbs are really tasty though. Okay, so the next dish that I think is very memorable to me was the meal we had in Jagalchi Fish Market. So good! Especially the seafood broth, the seafood soup we had. Wow, so generous with the ingredients inside, and then the broth was so rich and tasty. There was only like a few crabs inside, like small crabs, but the flavor, wow, so good, the seafood broth. The thing is, I think you can go to any restaurant, probably order the seafood soup, and you're gonna get pretty much similar tasting dishes, right? Because I think all of them sell pretty much the same stuff. Everywhere you see like live octopus, squid, fish, crab, whatever, you know, a lot of funny, weird floating things in water. They're all selling pretty much the same stuff, so I think the same goes for the restaurants. They sell pretty much the same things, and you're gonna have a delicious seafood meal there. Just need to spend a little bit more than normal, and you're gonna be really satisfied. One other thing we had in the seafood restaurant there was also the grilled eel. That one wrapped with the leaf. I don't know what leaf was it, but so good with rice, eel, leaf. Yum 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 yum. So overall, that meal was so satisfying, as I mentioned in one of my videos as well. So Jagalchi Fish Market is a meal that you should try when you're in Busan. It's apparently a very famous fish market. I don't know the difference, I don't know why it's famous, but it's delicious, and hopefully you guys can check it out and enjoy some delicious seafood as well. Shopping wise in Busan though, didn't represent much difference, but then again it wasn't really good either. It felt a little bit worse in terms of the variety and selection in Busan as compared to Seoul. So I didn't really shop. I didn't shop at all, in fact. So my main goals in Busan was really just to relax, sightsee, and eat some delicious food, which I think objective complete. So whatever you do in Busan, that's just my opinion, that's just my views on my 3 days there. You guys, when you go to Busan, have your own itinerary. I encourage you to plan your own trip, have your own experiences, and see the things with your own eyes, and touch the stuff that you can touch, and explore the world yourself. That is the best way.